All right, so this workout B. So basically that workout A might happen sometime earlier in the week. You've done a couple workouts and then I need to get my second strength routine. This is it. So the first one we're going to do is going to be a single leg deadlift. So they call the deadlift the king of all movements, but I think from a time crunch standpoint, if we could focus on more of a single leg variant, that kind of gets us some good effect without overloading you. And of course, having a smaller weight around the house is much easier than having a big barbell or hex bar or deadlift, something like that. So with this one, John, you're going to load your left hip. I want you to have tension in that free hand. So your left hand's going to have tension and your left and right hand are going to travel together. On up and then come back up. That's perfect. Let's get a side view of what we're looking for here. So again, you're going to load that left hip. Right's going to go back. We're looking for a straight line from that hip to that ear. That's a great example. And then bring it up. So do a bad one for me real quick. Do a sloppy one. All over the place, things like that. So maybe initially in this program, this movement isn't for you. So let's remove the load and train the skill component of it. And I'm going to put a cone directly in front of you. And I'm going to say, John, I need you to stand on your left foot and reach and touch that cone with your right hand. And now we just give him an objective cue to work on that he's still getting that single leg variant. This is a good one you can do actually without shoes on if you wanted to strengthen that foot musculature a little bit. So for that rep range, regardless if it's weighted or not, that would be 8 per side. Cool. So the second movement is going to be a push-up. So again, you know how to do a push-up, but show me how to do it again. So again, we want universal movement. We want him to squeeze in here, engage in here. So he's already doing that. He's going to drop his chest to the ground uniformly and then press the world away from him and exhale as he comes out. So these guys are pretty good athletes. These would be in a situation where I might even give him some external load to make it a little bit tougher. I like these a lot better than shoulder presses or bench presses just because it allows the scapula to move in a nice, safe position. And another thing too is when you're doing your push-up, I want you to grab the ground with those fingers and spread them a little bit. So when we actually engage those fingers and make them white a little bit, we're engaging that shoulder cuff a little bit. That might be hard to see. So that's good, John. Good. Next one, you have that nice band in your pocket, I think.
I sure do.
Cool. So throw that band just above your knees and lay on your back. This is a banded glute bridge. So in our glute bridge, we use this as an assessment. Now we're going to turn it into a strength drill. So this is for an athlete. This would simulate maybe a kettlebell swing or a broad jump or a deadlift. But this is a good quick and dirty where we can put a band around their legs. Really nice and quick. You're going to lay on your back. Your knees are going to be bent. First, he's going to use his core to push into the ground. He's going to engage his core and give us a nice pelvic position. He's going to actually bring his toes up off the ground. He's going to drive his heels on the ground. He's going to lift up his pelvis. He's going to hold nice and neutral. So you could do some pause work here, but he's going to do 10 reps up and down. What do you feel working, bud? Glutes. That's what we want. So he's knocked out 10 of those. Good. And again, that's a nice quick and dirty that can lead into more complex movements down the road. So good. That's awesome. Right on. So those are your 3 movements. You would repeat those for 3 sets. So you do the single leg deadlift, you would do your push-up, you would do your banded glute bridge, knock that out 3 times through. Cool. Now we're going to transition to the second half. Yep. So the second half of the movement is going to be more lower technical. It's going to start with that suitcase carry. So go grab your heavy suitcase. So John, I want you to face the camera while you're doing this one. When you're doing this, you're going to have a nice tall posture. If you basically had to hide this weight and you're looking at him straight and up, you would only want to see that flow being nice and level and not tilted this way. We don't want that. So he's actually going to give me a lot of tension in this left hand. He's going to engage this side of his core. He's nice and packed. And then he's going to walk 50 feet down, 50 feet back. And then we would have you switch hands, of course. So again, we're looking for nice and tall. It's hard, isn't it? And so I don't really need to cue a whole lot. Basically, it's very self-correcting. Try and walk on a nice straight line if you can, and take that through. So you can set that down for me. So I'm always a big fan if I can do more body weight movements with an athlete. So this one, you're going to do a hang, but you're going to do it with a hip flexed variant. So we're actually going to train the hip flexor muscle because we know those are important in cycling. I want you to get your hips up, and then you're going to hold. And we're actually going to dorsiflex, and I want you to open up just so slightly right there. And then we're going to work on maybe just building time. So for this level, this athlete, this level, I would shoot for maybe about 30 seconds of this posture. He's going to breathe, of course, while he's doing that. But for anyone that's starting new, maybe just build some time, 5 to 10 second reps. Good? Nice job. All right, last one's our side plank. So we're going to lay on our side. We're going to start this almost like a modified side plank. So your knees are going to be stacked. You're going to have your elbow just underneath your shoulder. You're going to lift up your hip off the ground first. Then you're going to lift up that top leg, just like this. You're going to have your left hand up here. right here. And now here's the fun part. I want you to bring your hips forward now, right there, and hold. There's the glute. So we just got this glute to engage at a pretty high level. So we're looking for 15, 20, 30, maybe 15 seconds initially for an athlete, build them up to 30. And then there's ways we can start adding in movement and make it a little bit more dynamic as time goes on. So that would be for about 20, 30 seconds per side, and then build from there.
Awesome.
3 times through.
Sweet.
Yeah.